Right, over the past week, of course, there have been accusations and counter-accusations. Jubilee leaders saying that it is Court leader Raila Odinga who fixed Deputy President William Ruto at the ICC, while the Court leader saying Ruto was his deputy then in ODM, so how could he fix him? So who fixed who? And was there any fixing? Today we're talking to Paul Kimani Wamatangi, who is the senator of Kiambu, Opiyo Wandanyi, who is the member of parliament of Ugunja, and of course Chris Wamalwa, who is the member of parliament of Kiminini. And they're going to put this matter into perspective along with Mutegi Njau. And of course, if you have any questions and comments on the same, or even your views that you'd like to share with us, the SMS number is 22422. That number again, 22422. Mutegi?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Maybe we can start with the senator.
Thank you.
You know, when the ICC decided to accept those recanted statements,
yes,
Jubilee went into a frenzy of prayers. All over the country, you have been traveling, praying.
Yes.
What do you intend to achieve with those prayers?
Mutegi, it is not a frenzy. It is a series of prayers, and there's nothing wrong with praying. I mean, what's wrong? We believe.
Nothing wrong, but
we believe in God. We believe in the power of delivery and salvation, and we know that when we pray, we'll get the results that we desire. God changes people's hearts, changes people's minds, even including those people at the ICC, including some of the local beneficiaries of those kind of processes who may be also working with those people in the ICC to fix our man. And so what we intend to achieve with these prayers is, one, to remind and rally our country and our people together and make sure that we are all focused in sending and passing one message, that our deputy president does not deserve to be in the ICC right now, that process is a flawed process, and that process is not intended to give any results that are beneficial to this country. And so, through our prayers, we shall sensitize the people. We shall ask God, we need your divine intervention, and to make sure that as this process moves on, it will get to its logical conclusion, and that is the release and ultimate acquittal of our deputy president. And Mutegi, let me quickly add this.
Yeah.
Just because probably the other side of the coalition or the political leadership does not believe in prayers or does not believe in God, does not mean that we shouldn't ourselves. You know, I mean, we are Christians. We are known. I'm sure you know that some of them are not even baptized. so maybe because they don't believe in that, we believe in it firmly, and we shall eventually succeed. We know that we'll be able to put the hearts and the minds of the people of this country behind the one way that we know is working for this country, to put our people together to ensure that we can get back on track with what we have been doing as Jubilee in implementing policy projects and
is that what you are doing, not sub judice?
No.
Sub judice in the sense that there's a court case going on involving two gentlemen who are Kenyans. But the deputy president and my colleague the judge.
But Mutegi, the law, there is nowhere where the law says that if you have a case in court you can't pray. There's nowhere. It is you can pray day and night. And in fact, the best way to mitigate any matter you have in court is to go to prayer. Go to your knees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear the views of Mr. Opiyo.
You know, Mutegi, what you are being treated to is simply drama of its own kind by Jubilee. In fact, it's hypocrisy of the highest order. What is happening is not necessarily prayer. Let's put it in the right context. When the ICC ruled that they would apply the now infamous Rule 68 in the case facing the deputy president, there was panic in Jubilee. Panic in the sense that there was immediate outcry from those sections of the Jubilee that support the deputy president. that how come they are not seeing the energy, the amount of energy, the amount of effort that they were seeing when President Uhuru Kenyatta's case was going on. And after Uhuru Kenyatta was acquitted, they seem to feel that William Ruto has been left on his own, and the government has abandoned William Ruto. So that's when they saw the idea of prayers came in, to placate the Rift Valley populace. That, you know what, we are still with you on this. We are praying together that your son can be acquitted. But then, in the process of the prayers, the so-called prayers, one Moses Kuria, because of his loose tongue, lets the cat out of the bag. That, oh, you know, actually we are the ones who fixed Ruto. Actually, that's what he said. We helped fix William Ruto. And then everybody else runs helter-skelter. Because now here is a case where somebody who is very close to the president, someone who was in the know of what really transpired, coming out in the open and confessing. He is a member of parliament for the president, really. He's the president's MP.
That doesn't mean he's close.
He's the president's MP. Now, he comes out and confesses that actually they are the ones who...
Is the MP, going by your logic, is MP who is from Raida's constituency very close to Raida?
Actually, I could go further and further demonstrate how close they are, but that's not the issue here now. Yeah. But the point is that upon Moses Kuria's confession, now Jubilee was forced to go on the defensive and to try to spin this matter. The fact is that Kuria's confession has boomeranged, and they're trying to find a way of containing the cat, which has been led on the back.
The opinion of Mr.
Thank you.
Wamalwa.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to tell Senator Wamatangi that in code coalition, we believe in Christ. You cannot come and purport and say the other people are not Christians or they don't believe in baptism. We have freedom of religions, and there are other religions which don't subscribe to baptism. So you should respect. We don't want to come here and politicize matters of religion here. That was very wrong, because I am the code coalition and I'm a Christian. As a matter of fact, I'm the vice chairman of the Catholic members of parliament. So that was a very wrong statement. I didn't take it kindly. Now, coming back to the purported prayers, first and foremost, Mutegi, you should look at the genesis of these prayers. I don't think the prayer started really at the time of the recanted evidence as pertained the amended Rule 68. Yeah. This matter started coming up when the URP MPs claimed that the government is not fighting enough to help the Deputy President, William Ruto. The fact that His Excellency the President, his case had been acquitted, but they are seeing that the government has not put much to see that they are fighting one of their own. That is when the prayer started. And again, we've had allegations, especially from the URP side, and it's been the public domain that the people who fixed the Deputy President were people who are close to His Excellency the President. One, the political advisor, Nancy Kidua, and secondly, Nancy Gitau, and secondly, the Mutai Ringo, by then, who was the PS in charge of internal security. At one time, we even saw it from the Deputy President's lawyer, who said this matter at the Hague, that these are the people who fixed the President. And it's in the public domain. It was even in the rally where Charles Keter, who is the senator for Kericho, who is very close ally to the Deputy President, who said, and even Alfred Keter, that the people who fixed the Deputy President are still in the government and they should be kicked out. So these issues is about the relationship between URP and the TMA. And these prayers, they are principles of prayer. When you pray, this is a sacred time you're with your God. You don't go politicizing the matter. And Senator Wamatangi clearly put it in those prayers. They are going sensitizing Wandanyi. So the word is sensitization. What are you sensitizing about? I thought when it comes to prayer, you come to God and you seek for His intervention. You don't need to go public. And the utterances that have been there, one from Leader of Majority Dwale, who claimed that anybody who is not appearing in those prayers, you know, prayer, you don't have to be in public. You must be in secret with your God. You humble yourself for purposes of maybe that intervention. But in this case, when you look at these prayers, they are more political as opposed to the matter of spiritual. And some times back, I remember there was one warning which had been issued from ICC when the prayers were going around. These prayers are actually polarizing the country. And in the long run, they might work even in the opposite as far as the cases are concerned, because the ICC are also watching. The issue of recanted evidence that are in line with the amended Rule 68 is a legal process, and the Deputy President has good lawyers, and I know they've appealed against that. So the issue is this: why don't you wait for the court to decide? We should not bring this issue as in targeting the 2017. Raila Amolo Odinga was in ODM with William Ruto, and they were fighting in the same team. How could Raila come again and fix his teammate? When you look at the famous the Serena 8, on the side of ODM, we had Sally Kosgei, William Ruto, we had James Orengo, and who was the fourth one? Who? Yeah. No, I'm going to tell you. There's James Orengo, William Ruto, Sally Kosgei. There's another fourth one. I'm trying to remember. No, we'll remember in time. So these are the people who came from the side of ODM. And when you look at this post-election violence, the most areas which were affected: Nairobi, Kisumu, Eldoret. And even when you go ethnically, the people who are victims from the other side, the Luo, the Luya, the Kalenjin. But from the other side, when there was a purported meeting at State House to come and defend, this issue came in Naivasha. And this is whereby the allegations came in, where they're implicating His Excellency, the President. So the facts are there. Kenyans are not stupid. They remember what happened. So in this case, as far as Raila Odinga is concerned, he was in the same team with the Deputy President. My friend Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria, you know, in research there's something called trend analysis. You can extrapolate and be able to know what kind of a character. There are so many things that Moses Kuria can maybe talk loosely. He came out and said, we are the ones who fixed Ruto. So they should arrest him so that he gives full disclosure. How did he fix Ruto? This is where the problem is, but we are missing the point. Instead, you want to jump here and there and bring other people in this circle.
Can we have an opportunity for him to rebut that?
Thank you, Mutegi. What you're hearing is what is called withdrawal syndromes. I don't know whether you've I'm sure maybe in your life you've never smoked, but you know, when a smoker stops smoking, all of a sudden they go through a process called withdrawal syndromes, and it can last for a long time. It can result in a lot of frustrations. You do everything, you overeat, some of them go into hard drugs, and these are the signs we are seeing here. I'll tell you what this is about, Mutegi, and the people of this country, so that they can understand clearly what is really happening. We start with the bigger picture. The bigger picture is, since the elections of 2013 and since the inception of the Jubilee government, the CORD fraternity has embarked on a smear campaign, on an undermination campaign from outside to bring down the government and undermine the processes of government and the gains that have been made. They have been unable to succeed from waging their wars from outside. You remember all the shenanigans and the drama we have seen. Just a minute. You've had your chance. So please, you'll be able to say everything you want to say. Now, they were unable to bring their fight to effect in Jubilee from outside. And now what they have done is they have thought that now by bringing a fight or the fight inside Jubilee cunningly, that they may be able to succeed. But let me now put it in proper perspective. Mutegi, the biggest beneficiary from the year 2007, 2008, all the way up to today, the one single person who would have been a beneficiary of the incarceration or the problems of the Deputy President, William Ruto, is one Raila Amolo Odinga.
No, you can't say that.
And just I'll make my it's very simple. You give it to answer. Yeah, this is my opinion. This is our opinion. This is the way things are. If you remember, Mutegi, in the elections of 2007, before what my friend there has said, that Raila and Ruto were on the same side, remember that these gentlemen came together after a competition. Ruto was a presidential candidate in 2007. they competed with Raila. And after competing, when Raila won, Ruto said, fine, for this time I will support you. When they went into the coalition, Mutegi, immediately, Ruto had made his position known that yes, he will support them, but he will run for president. Before even 1 year was over, the side of Raila and his team had already started undermining Ruto in that government. Remember, and the history is very clear, and I think these guys have been hoping that we forget history. By the year 2008 in November, Raila himself declared that all the people, in spite of what Ruto then had said as a minister, that he would want the people in Mau first to be given an opportunity to identify land by government and then move these people. Raila declared that those people should be quickly evicted. You know what the plot was? It was to try and weaken and show as though Ruto is incapable of defending his people, to weaken him internally. So by the year 2008, they were not together. Remember, by 2009, he was transferred from his Ministry of Agriculture, taken to the Ministry of Education in a move that was supposed to punish him. By the year, when we are coming to the year 2010, he was fired from the ministry. And who was the person who was in charge of ministers themselves? On whose side of the coalition had he come into power? He had come in on the side of Raila Odinga. By the first year, they were not together. Remember when we went to the campaigns for the new constitution, they were on opposing sides. They were never together. And actually by then, Ruto had already declared, I am running for president. Now, having worked with Raila, Raila had every single reason at that time, and remember this is the time when this process of the ICC was going on, he had every single reason to want to see Ruto fixed, because he knew that come the subsequent elections, when he wants to run for office, his single biggest problem would be William Samoei Arap Ruto. And so, in the run-up to this election, to that process, he did everything that he could, including, and I don't fault Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria has got his own history, he's got his own things that he do, he's got the things that he knows. If he was recruiting witnesses, I don't know. If he did so, and I've seen some current dalliance between Raila Odinga and Martha Karua, I don't know whether it started those days. Maybe he could have been doing it as an appanage or by proxy for Raila himself. I don't know if he did so. But the fact is, even after that process, and coming now to the elections of 2013, remember, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the current president, that particular time was amongst the first 6 to be summoned to the ICC. He was among the first 6 to be accused. Tell me, if we were to use simple conventional wisdom, how would you be an accused person and you are being accused with Mutegi, and other than even finding ways of defending myself, I'm out there trying to fix you? I could be the one to get jailed. It doesn't make simple common sense. It is illogical. Now let me finish. You'll be able to say your things. In this process, even up to currently today, and I'll tell you, this is the simple truth. This is the simple truth. The one single person who would want to see the deputy president in a fix is Raila. Because right now, again now the game has changed. The plan they have advanced is now to try and divide Jubilee, but of course they will not succeed. By playing this new tune, you're hearing all of them playing, that URP and TNA is deserting URP, so that they can, because they have not succeeded in the previous games, that now they can succeed in creating this rift and not to benefit the deputy president. And it is very unfortunate that even their leader was attempting to call somebody he has tried to undermine for more than 5 years consecutively, calling him a comrade. Remember Brutus, man. This is the Brutus fashion, you know. Now, in summary of my simple point,
it's too much monotony.
In summary of what I know is true, the CORD coalition right now, and that is why I spoke about withdrawal syndrome. Remember, just a few days after one of their senators went on the rampage, chanting slogans and words that cannot even be said in darkness, trying to abuse the president as a symbol or as a sign of frustration, they immediately ran to parliament and schemed to to file a motion of impeachment on the president. Now, when you hear me speaking about withdrawal syndrome and the frustration it brings, this is the frustration now you are seeing, because they could not succeed in this thing.
Mutegi, I hope you'll give me enough time to respond and also articulate my issues. Firstly, the obsession with Raila, I understand from their end, because it makes them lose sleep. That is normal. But then the most important thing is that no one in court has really been trying to bring down the government. The Jubilee government has essentially been bringing itself down. Yes, because of the self-inflicted crisis, starting with corruption, which has become a landmark in this government.
You know, that's
tribalism, which has reached a height which has never been seen before, and so on and so forth. But more importantly, on the matter of the ICC, you know, Mutegi, you must remember that it is the ICC that brought these two people together, William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. And it is the ICC that is now dividing them.
But remember, they
and I can tell you,
together.
I hope he listens. Yeah, listening is a very important skill. Yes, in management and leadership. And you must understand, Mutegi, that what is happening was bound to happen. Because if you went on an election on the premise of an ICC case, which has since unraveled, that coalition has to collapse, and it's going to collapse sooner than we think. Mr. Mutegi, according to the people who took one William Ruto to the Hague are known, and they are known by William Ruto himself, and his lawyer has confirmed this in the ICC. His lawyer has confirmed this, and the people themselves have come out to confess. They are now coming out the woods one by one to confess, starting with Moses Korea, and therefore to try to divert attention from what really transpired, from what really made William Ruto to be at the ICC, to one Raila Amolo Odinga, is to attempt to belittle the minds of Kenyans. Because Kenyans are not foolish. Kenyans know the genesis of this matter, and they know for sure that as we speak, the Jubilee government is not doing the march it was doing when Uhuru Kenyatta had his case at the ICC. And that is the cause of the problem. The URP wing of the coalition are totally unhappy.
That is the hope, and indeed, that is the hope you guys are hanging on.
Indeed, it is true that the TNA wing of the coalition is hoping, in fact praying. In fact, they are praying that William Ruto is jailed. Is jailed so that they can conclude. Of course, yes. Because the marriage was out of convenience. It was meant to propel Uhuru to power, which succeeded. And since that has succeeded, they have to dispense with one William Ruto because he was a kingmaker.
I think you're out of touch with reality.
It is very logical.
You are simply out of touch with reality.
Very logical, because
before, even before, even before, really, I was just punctuating him so that he can be logical in what he's saying.
I am very logical, and you must understand that
when you try to argue,
you must understand that Kenyans are very wise. Kenyans have become wiser. Indeed, the lines being peddled out there cannot pass, because there's no way Raila Odinga could have framed William Ruto when they were in the same coalition. Indeed, these witnesses that have testified against William Ruto have been helped, have been procured, have been facilitated to the Hague by the TNA wing of the coalition, which was then PNU, which has now modified into TNA.
My friend, the one consistent factor in this,
these are the people who have framed William Ruto, and now the chickens have come home to roost. It is at the time now that everybody must take their responsibility, starting with the people who helped Korea, one Moses Korea, to procure witnesses against William Ruto. There is no escaping from this.
Can I just ask one question? Just one question, so that he can answer it together with that question.
Absolutely. I want to thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to say that there's no way the opposition wants to bring down the government. The role of the opposition is to provide oversight, checks and balances. Because now the issue of the teacher strike, you can't come and say it is the opposition which is doing this, only that it was showing kind of solidarity with the teachers as far as the salary.
And by the way, how much is in the account by now?
That issue is now with the courts. We don't want to go there. Coming back to the matter of ICC, Martha Karua, she was a presidential candidate for Kenya. At the moment, Martha Karua is in the opposition. I don't see anything wrong Martha Karua joining with Raila Odinga, who is the opposition leader. And in this case, the utterances of Moses Kuria against Martha Karua, when did it start? It started when Martha Karua was being seen with Raila Amolo Odinga. Martha Karua, she's not in the government, she's in the opposition. And she said it clearly. So the issue here is this. The name of Martha Karua coming in, we are hoping, we are looking at the timing. Is it because they were seen together with Raila Amolo Odinga and other opposition leaders? That's a question for you to answer. We don't want to, Kenyans are very sharp, Mutegi. The issues we are moving around with propaganda, they know. The truth is known, how this list of ICC came in. And the more we sort out this issue, we don't want to go to the issue of 2017, the way you, I want to use your words, that you want to sensitize the Kenyans. We don't want to polarize this country. Kenyans have a right to decide who is going to be their president. You know, and the issue of you saying that Raila Amolo Odinga was competing with Raila Amolo Odinga was competing with
a motion of impeachment on a president.
Can you protect me from Wamatangi? You know, he's not a shouting match. You are giving you a chance.
It's like about
let me speak my mind, okay? Raila Amolo Odinga was not competing with William Ruto. In fact, the fourth person who was in the Kofi Annan was Musalia Mudavadi. I've remembered. It was Musalia Mudavadi, it was Sally Kosgei, William Ruto, and James Orengo. The two who were competing at that particular time was Musalia Mudavadi and William Ruto on the deputy party leader's position, whereby in the long run, William Ruto won. So there's no any given time that the two were competing. Again, when you talk of post-election violence, we are not talking of the issues that happened after the government was formed. We are talking about the 207 at that particular time. Let's not miss the point. The issue is these facts are there, Kenyans know. This matter is in the ICC. Let's wait for this issue to be sorted out. Again, Mutegi, Parliament, we saw what was the motion that, notice of motion that was given by Chepkonga on the issue of ICC. Kenya is a signatory of the Rome Statute. This matter, it is still active in court. So the issue of sub judice come in. And the notice of motion, there's no way in Parliament you can allow a notice of motion to be given and maybe it's a sub judice matter. Okay? And looking at the composition of the members to come in that particular committee to come up with a report, it is wanting because it's skewed towards a given direction. So when we come here to debate, we must debate objectively without bringing side shows. And I want my friend Wamatangi to learn. Let's not bring in the politics of sycophancy. This is what which is actually very wrong.
Gentlemen, really, one of the things, Mutegi, that amazes me is the capacity by CORD members to remain and stay on a high for so long that they can't, they are unwilling to touch down and see reality and deal with reality as it is. Now, you hear what they're saying. And remember, independently, a few months ago, you saw the polls that were released by the pollsters, by some of it. Yeah. What is the rating of the current government? What is the rating of the president? What is the rating of Raila Amolo Odinga in the coalition? Those are independent polls. Excuse me. So when these gentlemen come here and try to propagate a narrative that there is any reason why the president would not be wanting to go and win the next election with his deputy president, whom they are already doing very well with, you know, and they are both in the presidency. They are the ones who have done what we have done and where we are right now. So the problem that CORD is having right now, the single living nightmare, is that these two gentlemen, the president and the deputy, in the kind of leadership and the kind of work they have done, are going to go into the election. And you saw what the posters were saying. If we go into the elections the way we are right now, it is a walkover. Now, these gentlemen cannot go to sleep. But I want to say this to them as we finalize on this issue, especially on the issue of the ICC. We are very clear as Jubilee what we want to happen and what should happen in this country. One, we know, we are clear that the deputy president and his co-accused are not supposed to be standing trial at the ICC right now. And it is the resolve and resolution of us as Jubilee to ensure that we will do everything that we will do in our powers to ensure that justice as it should is meted out and they will be released. Secondly, as far as the leadership of this country is concerned, the CORD coalition would do itself a favor by waiting. First, go back to your drawing board. Wait for the next 5 years, that is 2017, 2022. Come at least with something credible you can be able to say and show the Kenyan people. And if by example, what you saw the other day, Mutegi here in Uhuru Park, you saw when they were trying to call a rally here in Uhuru Park to tell people to come and contribute to that M-Pesa account they were opening for teachers. And by afternoon at 3, they were already sending messages on SMS telling people, please come, don't shame us. That is the mood of the country. This country now wants to move forward. We are tired with sideshows of CORD. We are tired with the propaganda of the CORD leadership and the team. The people of this country have now realized that it pays more. And if you ask me, what is the president's mind right now? I don't speak on his behalf, he has got his own spokesman. But there's one thing I can say on his behalf. That right now, his mind is set on one thing: leading this country and delivering on the promises he made to the people of Kenya. And he is clear that he will not engage in the sideshows of CORD. So my good colleagues, what would do this country a favor? And this debate that you have ignited now, and calling even your principal to go on the press there, to come and say, oh comrade, oh they fixed him. This debate you have brought does not do this country any favor. What we require right now is you guys come into the fold. Let us move this country forward together. Join in the momentum. Let's go into 2017. We will win the election. Once we win the election, put your house in order. After you put your house in order, then come and say if you have something credible in 2022. We will still bring you down again, and we will give Ruto that other position to lead.
Mutegi, it's amazing when you listen to one senator, Wamatangi, try to talk what is in public domain untrue. Mutegi, if there's a government in the history of this country that has failed lamentably, it is the Jubilee government. In fact,
what do you say about the ratings?
In fact,
what do you say about the ratings?
No, those ratings are those are side shows. I will not dwell on them. I can tell you.
You are saying the government has failed.
The public is feeling on every single day the failures of this government, starting from the high cost of living. As we speak, it's the first time the government is unable even to meet its recurrent financial obligations. The first time in the history of this country. All the monies have been diverted to causes such as those prayers. In fact, we have got evidence now that money is being diverted to those so-called prayer meetings, in a way that is going to cripple the economy of this country. This government has failed, and in fact, what is happening now about the ICC is simply a diversionary tactic to divert people's attention from the real issues. And the real issues are, one, there is a very serious scandal which has been unearthed at the NYS. A very serious scandal. A scandal that has seen Kenyans lose close to 1 billion shillings in the span of 4 months. A scandal which we are interrogating in Parliament. A scandal which should have made the government resign, in fact, if it was in a civilized world. So I am telling you. I am telling you.
Is that bigger than Anglo-Leasing and Golden
Bag? I am not comparing to Anglo-Leasing or Golden Bag. I am just saying there's a scandal that should have made the government to resign. And therefore, to come here and suggest that Uhuru Kenyatta is confident of winning another election is really to live in hope, really, to delude yourself. The fact is that this government will be sent home at the earliest opportunity if Kenyans get it. But more importantly, we can't run away from the fact that the government made by the Jubilee coalition is collapsing because of the differences, the inherent differences, which have been created, by the preferential treatment that the state gave to Uhuru vis-a-vis Ruto in regard to their case at the ICC. Ruto has been left on his own, and he has been left on his own in a manner that is going to belong to the coalition. If you speak on behalf of God, don't speak on behalf of Jubilee. And we know what's happening. What's happening is that unless the issues of the ICC are addressed in a sober manner by the Jubilee government, other than this issue of prayers. If you speak for God, we will be quiet because you know about God. You don't know about Jubilee. I can also tell you that no amount of propaganda, no amount of spin work is going to make Kenyans believe otherwise. The fact is that Kenyans know who fixed William Ruto.
Who are Kenyans?
Kenyans, including myself, know that those who fixed William Ruto are in TNA, and they are trying by all means to ensure that Kenyans are hoodwinked into believing otherwise. That will not work, I can tell you.
Thank you. Mr. Mutegi, I think it is the responsibility of the opposition to provide constructive criticism. Okay? And secondly, on the matter of ICC, His Excellency the Deputy President, he's our Deputy President. Personally, in my prayers, I've prayed for him that whatever is going on at the ICC, he comes out in his best interests. So the issue is that the ICC, let's leave ICC to handle its case. The fact that we are signatories to the Rome Statute, let's give them their time. Let's stop politicizing this issue of the prayers. This is my only concern. We are polarizing this country further. And when it comes to the issue of whoever fixed or whatever...
Is that polarizing or uniting?
It's not uniting. He mentioned it, that you are going to sensitize Kenyans. Sensitize them on what? It's polarizing. Okay? The issue is when you go to pray, there are basic principles of prayer. This is the time you humble yourself.
You have said that
before God. Yeah, I've said it before. So the issue of politicizing, and you've seen many warnings that you must attend. So to me, my humble request to my colleagues from the other side is, let's not polarize. 2017 is still very far. Let's be objective. Let's be objective. Kenyans will decide when the right time comes. But the man, Moses Kuria came out. He gave the disclosure. And he said, we are the ones who fixed William Ruto. Let him record statements. Let him go to ICC. And if at all it's a joke, he should be arrested. Because you can't come up with such utterances to joke. Because this is His Excellency the Deputy President. He is there. And you come and claim that I'm the one who fixed. He must give full disclosure how these things was done so that the full force of the law can take its course.
What do you say to the fact that Kuria has not made a statement to the police?
Yeah, he has not yet.
Why is Jubilee asking Raila to make a statement?
And he won't make, by the way.
I'm looking at the logic of this.
Yeah.
Why is Jubilee asking Raila to make a statement wherever, but Kuria hasn't?
Now, first, Mutegi, listening to this gentleman and the talk we have had about prayers, I want to invite them to prayers because I think they also need the prayers. I mean, from the standpoint that they have as a coalition, their coalition needs prayers. What they require to do more, is to have content of the core coalition that they can be able to sell to the people. And all the time, when you speak, don't speak about Jubilee or for Jubilee. Speak on or about the issues of God. Now, on the issue of why is Raila being asked to go and record a statement, and Moses Kuria has not gone to record a statement. Moses Kuria is in this country. He can go and record a statement at any time when he wants. He's not been asked and said he will not go and record a statement. If he's asked, maybe I'm sure he may want to go and record a statement. But the key player, the grand master of this scheme has been the CORD coalition leader, Raila Amolo Odinga. And let me tell this gentleman and the entire coalition, gentlemen, you can argue, you can spin propaganda, but you can never argue with facts. You can't argue with facts. The facts are there, Mutegi. You had me talk about them. From the year 2008, Raila Amolo Odinga and William Ruto were not seeing eye to eye. That is why he was going to abandon them. From 2009, Raila fired Ruto from the ministry. How relevant is that in 2011.
How is the relevance?
The relevance is very, very simple. At that particular time, and even up to now, his biggest problem, his biggest nemesis was Ruto. And he knew that by hiding behind that curtain, he can have him fixed, have him out of the race, and he knew that if he joins with Uhuru, his nightmare would be true, and indeed it came true. When the two joined, they won the election, and that was his problem.
We are running out of time.
My last shot is that for Jubilee, the horse has clearly bolted, and it's high time they look for other ways.
So what do you expect?
They look for other ways of placating the Rift Valley population rather than these sideshows and scapegoating.
You think Rift Valley has left Jubilee?
It's going to, in fact, it's gone. It's gone because their son has been crucified by Jubilee, their son has been sacrificed by Jubilee, their son has been persecuted by Jubilee, and there is no turning back, I can tell you.
The last one?
Yeah.
My last one is, let's not politicize the ICC issue. It will be in good order to call off those purported prayers and let the due process take its course at The Hague. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My last one is most of all for this country. I want to ask the CORD coalition. This country needs to move forward. We need to put behind the issues of 2007 and 2008 and factor in and take advantage, capitalize on the reconciliation that we have already found and move this country forward. Your hope, your utopian wish that the Jubilee coalition is going to collapse, or that there is going to be a wedge between the president and the deputy, or the Rift Valley and the other members, we will not. That will not happen. It will not happen. It's going to happen. Not going to happen. And if you think, and like you have said lastly, that the deputy president has been abandoned, I want to remind the CORD coalition that the deputy president and the president together with another 4 people, that a total of 6, stood, waited and waited until today in the same court, and the same process that was followed to acquit the president will be followed to acquit the deputy president, and we will stand firmly behind them for your information. So I'm sorry to disappoint you that what you're expecting to happen is not going to happen. We are going to stand together.
Thank you very much. There are a lot of viewers write-ups here, but they are all the same. Pro or against, I can't read all this. So I'll leave it to you viewers to determine who fixed who and when.
And why.
And with that, those remarks, let's go to girls who are going to sing for us. And then after